I trust this will suffice?
God smiles upon the generous.
Oh, away with you! Back to your cesspit, beggar! A land grotesque as its people. You dreamt of utopia. You saw the tribes united as one.
Oh.
That dream died long ago. You should have done the same. Your kingdom will perish alongside you. By my hand.
I cannot fathom it. His Majesty killed in his own bed.
The blooms upon the prince's grave had yet to wilt. Without an heir to wear the crown, what will become of the royal magic?
Thus vulnerable, an invasion might undo us.
From within or without, the state hangs on a precipice. It may even come to civil war.
In dark times, we must stand together.
Your Eminence!
Who could do this? Few could even enter the king's chambers, let alone draw close. And yet
His Majesty's arcane power could deflect near any blade. With all the royal bloodline's magic, who could harm him at all?
shadows stir in the castle just as they did with the prince. What hellbound soul could end a royal life? Who would dare such atrocity? Huh?
Louis. A shame to die with no heirs. The prince was taken too soon. And only a king may wield the royal scepter, the very crux of his vaunted bloodline's magic, which made such a fine deterrent to war. One has to ask, them dead, who shall take the throne?
What's up, everybody, and welcome to Metaphor Refantazio. I was so excited when Atlas announced this game. A brand new IP venture we haven't gone on. At first, I was excited about the new game, but wasn't totally on board with it. But as I saw more things come out about it, I became more excited about it, and here we are. I have played through this game. I actually just finished it. And I have some things to say about it. It was a fantastic game, first of all. But like with everything, nothing's perfect. And we'll get into that later. I am going to adjust a few settings here. Bring the music down a little bit. Sound effects down a little bit. So, with that being said, I am excited to share this game with you guys, and we are going to 100% it. I did not 100% it on my first playthrough, so it's kind of a redemption thing for me. Kind of messed up my calendar a little bit, missed one of the followers by 1 rank to get all of them, so we'll redeem that in this playthrough. If you have not played an Atlus game, this works very much like most of the Atlus games that are out there. There is a calendar system, there are deadlines, there's certain days that you have to have things completed by. As long as you complete the main quest within that deadline, the rest of the time is your own to rank up your followers, to do side quests, to do all the other things you need to do to move on to the next main objectives. So with saying that, we're going to jump on in. And these first couple episodes will be a little longer just because to move on to the next main objectives. So with saying that, we're going to jump on in. And these first couple episodes will be a little longer just because it is tutorial, and that's just kind of how Atlus rolls.
Who's there? I can feel you watching me from a place beyond my sight. Whoever you are, please tell me, does our world pique your interest? Pardon my curiosity, but would you tell me your name? That is to say, tell me who you really are. The one who meets my eyes across a strange threshold.
Okay, so this is wanting your name. So I'm just gonna put my real name out there. I'm not afraid of it. Alright. And then we name the protagonist later, so.
A most unusual name. One I've never heard in our world. Which suggests to me you might reside in a world beyond ours. It is a curious thing that in your eyes, my entire world is but the dawn of a story yet untold. Or to put it another way, this is a fantasy. But can it truly be dismissed as something so far removed from you? If indeed you wish to cross to our world for a time, I would first ask that you indulge one question. Is fantasy limited to the confines of imagination? Would you call it a powerless creation?
I would not say it is a powerless creation. Imagination breeds a lot of things, and without that imagination, it's hard to go forward sometimes. So, we're just gonna say not always.
More than wishful thinking, more than fiction. Something capable of affecting the realities beyond its bounds. This must be what you believe. I confess, my own answer still eludes me. But consider, if fantasy is born from hope, a desire to make the world better than it is, then that hope can be made manifest. Thus does change come, and thus is fantasy forged into a new reality. Perhaps the story about to unfold before you will tell us. I'm thoroughly invested now myself, so let this tale begin.
Alright, and from here we choose our difficulty. I'm not doing anything crazy here. We're just gonna go on normal. I can tell you that I saw quite a few game over screens on the normal level, so I'm not trying to go hard or anything that's gonna get me destroyed. And you can always change your settings later on. We'll get into some grinding stuff later. You do have to grind in this game. Not something super terrible. There are some good grinding spots, and I'll let you know what those are as we go.
Looks like we're in the clear. The capital's just through this desert.
Is it true then? The king is dead?
Aye, and the guards are more concerned with the funeral than keeping the roads safe. So now the monsters are roaming in broad daylight. No soldiers to stop them.
Monsters, huh? I've certainly been hearing the stories.
To say nothing of the vacant throne. There's a storm coming. Mark my words. That much is certain.
What's the problem?
They're bandits!
Come on, let's see some respect for the militia! Us folk, we're commoners! No crown or church will save us!
But Lord Louis will save us one and all. All we ask is a little tribute. You're with us or against us? And if you're against us...
An igniter? How'd they get one of those?
Come on! Hey, keep it moving! Hurry it up! Next one! Huh? Look at you. What have we got here? He's an elder. So he is. No horns, no knife is. Filthy gremlin like you. What you got in the capital? Oh, what's this? Looks like you've been holding out on us, boy. Hold it! Should have listened to us, chum. Now fall in line! Unless you want to get stuck like us.
You drew steel. I take it you are prepared to die by it.
Stand aside!
This place already feels like a death trap. You hear all that stuff about Lord Louis saving us? Hey, you okay? You still got all your limbs attached? Well, at least they didn't figure out our mission. Definitely could have gone worse.
Wait a minute. What are you talking about, Gallica? What mission?
What mission?
Come on! This is no time for jokes. You do know that if anyone finds out who we really are, it's all over, right? The mission's more important than either of our lives. If we screw this up, there's no going back. Think we'll make it?
You don't look hurt, though, so that's good news. You can move, right? I'm thinking we should find a place where we can see the whole area. There are a lot of tutorials in this game. I'm just gonna leave them up on screen here for a second if you haven't played and this is a new thing. Alright, so we get access to the minimap.
Let's go.
The menu. Full disclosure, you cannot fight in this area.
Stop!
Wait, I'm sensing something. Don't move.
Watch out!
Yeah, these look especially dangerous, so watch out. I don't think they've noticed us yet, though. Alright, L2 is face sight. Face sight is very useful in the dungeons as well as later on in the game. You can see around you, see what level the enemies are. It gives you all that information.
Okay. Hurry!
So we're just gonna kind of boot our way through here and
ready, everyone.
try not to get killed. You're gonna get chased through here. Like, there's no getting around it. You really just want to gun it for the next cutscene.
Just checking, but you do remember what we're here to do, right?
Refresh my memory.
Right. What am I doing again?
Oh, I don't know. The mission that's more important than our own lives? First, we get to the royal capital and get you enlisted as a guardsman at the army's recruitment center. This could decide the fate of the whole country. We either do our jobs or we die. And if it's all the same to you, I'd rather stay alive. So we've got to see this mission through. Come on. We don't want the sun to go down on us in the wastes. Let's pull ourselves together and get back on the road. You know what they say. Anxiety breeds the world's cruelest monsters. I mean, fairies say that at least. I can at least cast my usual spell for you. It's the small comforts, right?
Right.
And now we get to jam out to the music of the game.
Music was the first magic this world ever knew, after all. Makes the road a little easier.
I love Gallica's dancing. It's great.
Look! Over there!
That's the road, isn't it? What a relief. Grand Trad is already in sight.
Let's go. Got a sec?
Full disclosure, guys, I am not good at making up voices, so bear with me. I'm not sure that the characters will each have their own unique voices. We're gonna skinny through here, grab these items. Make our way up to the road. Try not to get killed along the way. Uh-oh, this is bad.
Not good! Run for it!
This land of 8 tribes and 3 nations, all blessed by the power of magic. The United Kingdom of Euchornia. The year is 785. Euchornia is shaken to the core by the sudden death of its king. Anxiety breeds dissent among the tribes. Disparities tear them apart, and no mortal mind remembers the heroic tales upon which their land was built. By this story of fantasy, may this faded world be painted anew.
Whoa, just look!
Whoa.
Get on with it, then! Drop the dog! Hang him dead! Please! I've done nothing wrong! Lying dog! Don't try to deny it! You trample the law for the fun of it!
Let it be known, for misuse of an igniter, you will hang by the neck until dead!
Yeah!
There's no way that crowd was going to listen to anything a Paribus said.
Such a shame. Might you spare some coin? Bless you. Oh,
careful!
Hurry!
Don't you have any street smarts? Come on, kid! Look, we're not tourists here. We gotta stay focused.
Right.
You noticed back on the wagon? You might be the only elder here, in the whole city even. Capital's incredible. Just look at all the different tribes. You never see this kind of diversity out in the countryside. Not that it's very balanced. I see more Clamars and Roussants than anyone else. Which means a dopey Elda kid's gonna stick out like a sore thumb. Try to keep your head down, okay?
Hey, did you hear what they're saying about His Majesty? They say it wasn't illness at all. I heard it was foul play, assassination.
Shh, careful who hears you say that.
But it's just like the prince, isn't it? They say he was attacked in the dead of night. A war of succession is coming, I tell you.
Sounds like monsters have been prowling the countryside. They're sending a guard out to deal with them. The army's really gone to hell. It's a far cry from when we had Count Louis at the helm, I'll tell you that much.
Hard to see how the nation can come back from this.
We'd not have to ask if the prince was still alive.
The king dead, his son stricken. Are there none left to bear the weight of the crown?
We've done all in our power, but not even the kingdom's best, the saint, could purify this affliction.
Over 10 years he has languished under this curse. How much longer can his body hold out? No doubt His Highness would protest. But since he cannot, we have no choice. For the man who cursed His Highness and murdered our king, there can be no mercy. I never thought I would have to ask this of you. But there are so few of us left now. There is no one else to turn to. Will you infiltrate the military to deliver a message to our contact there? This is your mission. For all our sakes, you cannot fail.
Hey, are you listening? Well, I guess I can't blame you for feeling nostalgic. You and the prince were pretty close. Anyway, getting to the capital was only the beginning. Now comes the real high-stakes part. You gotta go get enlisted, so you can meet up with our operative. Remember, nobody here knows who we are. Nobody here knows the prince might still have a claim to the throne. That means if we get busted, that's it. Nobody's gonna save us. Step 1. Let's figure out where the recruitment center is. Shouldn't be too hard, considering the need for soldiers.
So? Do you know where you're going? Feel free to admit that you're lost and ask me for advice. Alright, so here are the controls for the minimap. And then you can always ask Gallica if you need to know where you need to go or what's available to do. There is actually a trophy for consulting Gallica 100 times on PlayStation. So keep that in mind as you play through if you're going on a trophy hunt. Alright. And then in towns and safe places, you can save. And welcome to Grand Trad, everybody. I thoroughly love how Atlus did these cities. It is so good. Alright, so our main objective is to go to the recruitment center.
Look at that. The new model's out now. I could be out there slinging spells like a master if I had one of those.
I guess that's the big city for you. Everyone and their mother has a magic igniter. So many different types, too.
So, what is Magic Uniter,
What's a
Gallica?
magic igniter?
See? There's a couple in the window. Like an instrument plays a tune, an igniter casts magic. Pretty hard to come by out in the countryside. Can't imagine what it's like having to wave around some shiny stick to use magic. Me? I can whip out magic anytime I like. And I can even see the magla in the air. Though, I'm not exactly an archmage.
I guess that's the perk of being a fairy.
Wonders never cease. A fairy and an elden child. Are you new to our fair city? Well, I suggest you keep a low profile. Trust me when I say you don't want to catch the eyes of the lords and ladies. Ah, but I'm getting ahead of myself. I run this humble shop. Are you in the market for an igniter? Here's something that might catch a foreigner's eye. This is modeled after the royal scepter and would make the perfect souvenir.
So, what's the royal scepter?
The royal scepter?
You've really never heard of it. Wow. Where do I even start?
A symbol and instrument of the crown's sovereignty. Passed down through generations. If you believe the legends, it houses incredible magic. World-shattering power. More practically, you might call it the world's most potent magic igniter. And in the king's hands, it was enough of a deterrent to stave off invasion.
Now he's dead. With no living heir either.
Tragic, isn't it? Kingly magic is of little use without a king. You picked a bad time to visit, boy. I don't know why you're here, but there's trouble brewing.
I'll keep all of that in mind.
I'll keep that in mind.
A word of caution, then. Your survival is your own responsibility.
Well, that was unnecessarily ominous. She has a point, though. We'll need to be careful. Anyway, we don't have time to hang around chatting with the locals. We've got a recruitment office to find.
Let's head there.
And forward we go.
Give it a Ford, I say. Who else can it be?
I do love the loading screens in the towns as well. I thought they were very well done. I was hoping that we blend in with the crowd and no one would notice that you're an Elda, but the people here have sharper eyes than I thought. We don't want to draw attention, but hiding your tribe is only going to make it worse. People may insult you, but do your best to stand tall.
All right.
Easier said than done, I'm sure. But it's for the sake of the mission. On that note, the recruiting center we're looking for should be just ahead.
What are you playing at?
So we're just gonna gun it straight for the recruitment center. Which is right here.
That must be the recruitment center. I'll let you take it from here. It should be pretty straightforward. Oh, and if they start asking questions, just be as honest as you can. Lying will only make us more suspicious. So long as you don't compromise the mission, you're fine. Good luck in there. Knock 'em dead. Okay, you got this.
A blue blood, are you? The army's no place for velvet-swaddled lordlings. Why are you here? Perhaps your noble family collapsed under its own weight. Is that it?
Lineage seems a strange measure for a soldier's worth. I'm looking to enlist. Is that enough for you or not?
An uppity one, aren't you? Fine, lordling. Welcome to the Guard, where it'll be your privilege to die screaming and bloody in service of your country. But mark my words, war will turn your arrogance to piss. When your corpse is plucked from the mud, do try to look patriotic.
Rousing words, Captain. You think threats will buy loyalty? No wonder nobody respects the Guard anymore. But I'm here now, so perhaps the kingdom isn't a lost cause.
Insolent pup! You will learn your place.
Don't. The healers have enough on their plates already.
Be gone, and be thankful you're still in one piece. All right, next. Hurry it up. An elder? I thought your kind was long gone. Age 18. An orphan, too. The army can always use more of those. So, what brings you to enlist?
It really doesn't matter what you answer here for, but I want to fight for a change.
I want to fight for real change.
Lofty words for a gutter rat with an empty coin purse, no? So, what can you bring to our beloved corps? Any skills to speak of?
I really gotta stop speaking for the protagonist. I forget he has a voice in this game. I'm not used to protagonists having a voice. I'm used to silent protagonists. So, these options right here decide what your base stats are. So obviously, I'm stronger than I look is going to be strength, sharp mind is magic, punishment is endurance, small but quick is agility, and then I've always been lucky is luck. I generally do a strength build in these, so I'm going to go with I'm stronger than I look.
I'm stronger than I look.
With arms like that, you'd have to be. Right, last order of business. Make your mark or sign your name if you're actually literate.
So this is where we name the protagonist. And I'm going to go with the canon name, which is what I went through in my original playthrough, which for this game is Will.
You know your letters, do you? We'll get some use out of you yet. All right, lad. Welcome to the Guard.
Yes!
I'm sure you heard about the monster sightings, so stay sharp out there. We're short-handed as it is, so be a good lad and try not to get killed on your first deployment. You can pick up your kit at reception. Standard issue guardsman armor and igniter. Kingdom property. So if you break it, it's coming out of your commission. On your way now. Up to. Next.
And just like that, we are part of the guard. What a long line. Guess we'll have no choice but to wait our turn. Okay, so you can talk to the people in here. They say tribes don't matter in this army, but they'll probably put me in the up front as a meat shield. Not that I can find better work. Wish I could serve Count Louis. His army's built on merit, so even a parapet stands a chance.
Oi there!
What's the world coming to?
Blast it. I came to enlist because I heard they can make a quick reeve here, but they really make you work alongside a creepy elder. A parapets I can deal with, but the elder are right ominous. Well, where'd you hear that? God's own scriptures, that's where. Guess you can't expect an elder to know crap. I'm still... Let him say what he wants. Fighting someone like him would be just a waste of energy.
Oi there!
I know some have no issue with cursing if it's in text. I would prefer to keep this as family friendly or kid friendly as possible. I know kids watch these playthroughs, so just because the game puts it in there doesn't mean that I necessarily want to say it.
Whatever.
You're so young. Are you enlisting? Well, not much choice if you don't have money or a job. Reeve makes the world go round, as it were. You want a magic igniter? Join the queue. Cutting's only gonna get you chewed out. I don't know why I just made him southern, but there it is. Alright. Hey, nobleman.
Whoa.
You enlisting too? The line starts behind me, if so, or was there something you needed? Well, are you really a noble? I take it you overheard my interview. Yes, guilty as charged. I am a noble, but just a countryside son of a lord. My family is of no real consequence.
Well,
let's just say I have my own circumstances. I'm volunteering to fight in order to protect the kingdom, foolish or not. Okay. Now that we've talked to everybody, go up here, join the queue.
I heard they get sightings.
what? Of those huge monsters? You think that's why we're low on soldiers? Wish they'd have told us that. What do they call them? Something like, human...
Next! Another Clamar. Wait, no. You don't look like the others. Surely not. An elder? It's the first of your kind I've seen.
Move it. There's a priority around here. We're arming squires and children with igniters now. Waste of good gear. It's better off in my hands. Give it here.
Brute force and crude insults. The world is yours for the taking.
Care to say that again, boy?
We all have our reasons to enlist. Now get back in line.
Oh, another high and mighty Clamar, is it? You think your pretty words will measure up to pure Rousant strength?
Oh, forget the tribes. This is a matter of pride. Now, you owe us both an apology.
Come on, no fighting in the ranks.
Sorry for making a scene. You all right?
I mean, I had it handled.
I had it handled. You didn't need to butt it.
I saw injustice, and so I spoke up. I don't think that's unreasonable. Well, see you around. Try not to die out there.
Don't make my job any harder, please. Here, your igniter.
And we get our igniter.
These days, most come with their own magna crystals. So with practice, anyone can use magic. To an extent, anyway. It's not the sort of thing you can master in a day. For now, newbies like you best focus on surviving.
The thing around his neck is apparently a magic igniter. The captain I spoke with earlier had one too. They must take on many different forms, like I saw on the main street.
And take this too. Protect it with your life.
And we get the map.
Wow, that's a real map.
You don't say, Gallica.
It's dangerous to even chart the wilds, but this is full of details. Only the military could pull this together.
Listen up, striplings. My name is Captain Klinger, and as of this moment, you miserable lot are under my command. I'm sure you've all heard about our forces being tied up with the funeral proceedings for His Majesty. But if you think you're on cushy security detail, think again. First, you will be deployed to a fortress at the northern border, where you will be trained into true guards. Our veterans there will teach you the one thing you need to master if you're to survive.
Perfect. That's exactly where our contacts hold up.
Enjoy tonight's sleep, because it's the last full night's rest you'll get. Dismissed!
Look at all the other recruits. They really are desperate for new blood. Oh, right. I know you don't know what our contact looks like yet, but he'll know you by your sword. He'll also know right away why we've come. And don't worry, I'll recognize him. Well, the charming captain is probably right. We should get some rest before tomorrow. Hey. You awake?
I feel like this is a question that every companion asks. You awake? Nope, I'm sleeping.
Nope, I'm asleep. Good night.
Haha, very funny. Look, I just have a lot on my mind. Can't seem to fall asleep. I'd heard about what it was like in the capital, but still. When you hear and see all this prejudice out in the open, it's a lot. You okay?
I mean, sure, but you know it never gets easier.
It never gets easier.
Yeah, I could tell. Try to put it behind you, okay? Some people are even saying it's the lesser tribe's fault that the monsters are showing up at all. These are the same kind of people who burned down your village, remember?
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, but still, the prince was kind to take you in. He cared more about who you were than what you were. I can see why you'd want to repay him. Oh, speaking of, he's the one who gave you that book, right? Can I see it?
Sure, I guess.
I gotta say, I've been curious. Thanks. It's what you call a fantasy story, right? So it's a fantasy world made up by the author. The prince loved those kinds of stories. Okay, let's see. It says the young traveler was amazed by the world he saw. In this world, there is only one tribe. All people accept each other, and no soul is born into discrimination. Wow. So not even any fairies? I guess less differences means less to argue over. In such a world, there is no need for sorcery. A megapolis is built through learning and labor. Towers of glass that reach the heavens. Safe nights with no dark shadows. Busy streets well traveled. And in the laws of these emotionally satisfied people, it reads, all lives are equal. Whoa. I see. No magic, no tribal conflict. And equality for all? It really does sound like a fantasy. But it's strange to feel envious of a fictional world. Hey, are you asleep already? You know how hard it is for me to turn these pages on my own? Well, guess I'll just read more later. Good night.
Poor Gallica can't turn the pages without the protagonist.
Shouldn't you be resting? I'm fine. In fact, I'm glad we have this chance to talk. I've been reading, and I hope that someday we can make our kingdom like the place in this book. You said it was some kind of fantasy novel, didn't you? Our lives are decided at birth, by tribal purity, or by the differences that make us who we are. I don't want that to be the world we live in. The Elder here are a perfect example. If you'd not sheltered me, I would never have survived. And yet, they burned your home down. It's tragic, and no one should have to suffer so. Someone needs to fix... You okay? Don't push yourself so hard. Reality is much too cruel. I know that. But I'll fight it. I'll fight to the end. I'm a prince. But I need to be a hero. One worthy of the throne. A hero? One who can lead. A beacon who will pierce the darkness when all seems lost. My father taught me that. In his stories, the kingdom was full of legendary heroes. So I can't give up. In my ideal world, people can believe in their future. Their birth doesn't matter. Not that I expect it will be easy. I believe in you. Familiar words. When I'm down, when I struggle, you're always there to help me through it. Let's do it. You'll be a hero. Trust me. I won't give up either. Trust me.
Until arrival at the northern border fort, one day remains.
Let's see.
I wonder how far we've come. Let's find our destination, the northern fort border. Alright, so this is the world map. Highlight the area. You can learn about different areas by pressing X. This becomes a little more relevant later on in the game when you're doing side quests.
This place here.
The map is going to show
Hold on.
camping spots.
Let's see.
This place here.
And then your destination.
Hey, don't forget.
The northern border fort. This is where our contact should be, so hopefully we'll find him quickly. Got
Okay
it.
then.
All we can do now is rest. We have a big day tomorrow.
The carriage transporting the new recruits arrives at its destination. The northern border fort. The towering fortress was built during the Annex War in the mountains at the edge of the territory. Even now, soldiers are sent there for its strategic importance to the royal capital and to combat the rising waves of monsters. Fresh-faced soldiers disembark from their coaches at the foot of a steep ascent to the fort, the first of many uphill battles.
Oh, finally. Can hardly feel my legs.
Listen well, you lackwits. The battlefield is no place to sit on your asses, and the border front is always a battlefield. The call to arms could sound at any time. Stand to, curs. You have the honor to serve at the command of Captain Klinger, war hero, tactician, master of arms. When I earned rank in the trenches, forged in the blood of my comrades.
Spare us this drivel. Say, friend, I'm curious. What is it about that book that's captivated you so?
It tells of a world united as one tribe.
No discrimination, eh? A far cry from our world, then. So it's describing a better world. A utopia, perhaps. I'm something of a reader myself, but that's not like any book I've read. You know, when the late king took the throne, he was quite the idealist himself. He made grand claims about unifying the people under his rule. Never managed to do it in the end, of course. Reform takes more than high-minded, eloquent speeches. Maybe he was too blind to see that himself.
Listen to you. A babe with his first sword thinking he knows better than a king. Keep your mouth shut. No one cares what you think.
Nobody asked you.
Something to say? Go on. I'm listening.
I apologize for him.
See? Take a cue from your friend in the lesser tribe. Well, Clemar, I'll let it go this time. But only because I like your friend. Next time, keep your complaining to yourself.
That's the last thing I need. Though I suppose I deserved it in part, speaking ill of the dead and all. My mouth tends to get ahead of my thoughts sometimes. Although, I'm glad a bad habit seems to have drawn us together. Oh, never got round to an introduction. I'm Stroll. Leon Stroll, son of the Count of Harlia. And you are?
That's my name.
I have that right? It's got a certain weight to it. For what it's worth, my title doesn't mean much. Here and now, we're peers and equals.
By the skin of my teeth! Now, where was I? Right, as for you, fresh meat.
Someone, help!
Is that a soldier? Hey, speak to me, man. What happened?
Listen, stay on guard. It's too...
Not one of mine. Must be one of the fort's guard. Those damn vultures across the border. They must have heard about the king's death. Anyway, to the fort. Double time. I'll stay behind to see to the poor bastard's wounds.
You want us to go on ahead? Alone? Shouldn't we at least send a team back to ask for...
I knew fear would take you at the first step. You want to turn tail? Are you a traitor to the cause? The Guard has no place for cowards. You are part of His Majesty's Royal Army. Swallow your fear, fight with pride, and we'll all have medals this
He's right. We're warriors. Up there is our first chance at glory and riches. Damned if I'm gonna waste it. Let's go!
Damn it. Well, I suppose this is what we signed up for. Onward, to the fort then.
Hey, I've got a bad feeling about this. It's hard to explain, but it's like there's a stench in the air, and it's getting stronger.
Hey, did something happen? Wait, is that a fairy? Did you catch it yourself?
She's with me.
Yes, and I have a name, by the way. It's Gallica.
So you travel together? You've stayed well hidden for quite a while.
Well, I didn't want anyone making a fuss. But we've got bigger problems right now. I can't shake this feeling. We gotta be careful.
Agreed. I'll follow orders, but I'm not about to let this armchair general send me to my death. Let's take a moment, then head in once we're prepared. I assume you know how to use an igniter properly?
I'm not so sure. He's never used one before. I mean, he's a commoner, so not much chance to.
Fair enough. Well, just stay behind me and you'll be all right. I swear I won't let you die. I'm with you.
And we get Shoal as an ally.
Oh, this is bad. I didn't think you'd actually have to fight anyone. I just hope our contact in the fort's okay. Let's keep our guard up and hope we find out. Okay?
Well, this is an unexpected turn of events, but don't lose sight of our mission, okay? Yeah, I know, Gallica.
Here we go.
Careful, all contact should be inside. We just have to find him. You run with such purpose. What was that you were talking about? You said something about your ally?
Actually...
Oh, it's nothing. I was just worried about the soldiers inside.
I see.
I see. Well, whatever the case, this situation concerns me too. Let's go inside. Alright, so this is the first mini dungeon in the game. And this is actually where we're going to call this episode. So, next time on Metaphor Refantazio, we are going to head into the fort, find our contact inside, and finally get some fighting in the game. So we will see you in the next one.